What if a letter could haunt you? Not because of what it said, but because it was never meant to be read, never meant to be opened, never even meant to be sent. Just imagine this. You move into an old house. Dusty. Quiet. Forgotten by time. In the attic, tucked inside a cracked wooden floorboard, you find a letter. Sealed. Faded. But still intact. No name. No address. Just a feeling. Something about it makes your skin crawl. You know you shouldn't open it, but you do. And from that moment on, nothing feels the same again. They say some things are lost for a reason. Not forgotten, but buried. The letter was found in a house that hadn't been lived in for over 70 years. A small stone cottage on the edge of a forgotten village. Its last owner? A woman named Eleanor Blackwood. Quiet, reclusive, and according to the locals, a little strange. After she passed, no one claimed the house. No family, no will, just dust and silence. Until one day, a man named Daniel, a distant relative, inherited the property. He didn't expect much. Maybe some old furniture, a few antiques, but then he found the floorboard in the upstairs bedroom, slightly raised, like it had been opened before. Beneath it, a small tin box. Inside that box, a letter, unsent, unstamped. The paper yellowed, the ink faded, but the words still clear. The envelope was sealed with wax, cracked and broken by time, but not by hands. Daniel almost didn't open it. He would later wish he hadn't. The letter was signed Eleanor Blackwood, the woman who had lived and died alone in that house. But what Daniel didn't expect was who the letter was for. It wasn't addressed to family or a friend. It was written to someone named Thomas. The tone? Heartbreaking. Almost like a confession. Like she was speaking to someone she'd loved and lost. I still see you in my dreams, it read. I hear your footsteps outside the door. I know what they said happened to you. But I don't believe them, not for a second. The more Daniel read, the more unsettled he became. Eleanor spoke of a disappearance, something the village never talked about. A young man, Thomas, who vanished in 1942. No trace, no answers, just gone. She wrote about secrets no one should have known, about strange men visiting her home, about screams in the woods that no one else admitted to hearing, about being watched. And then, the final line. If you ever find this, Thomas, I hope you understand why I had to lie, why I couldn't tell them what I saw. No one had ever mentioned Thomas in the property records. No obituary, no police report. It was like he never existed. But Eleanor remembered, and she never let go. At first, Daniel didn't think much of it. A strange, sad letter, a little creepy, sure, but just a relic from the past. He tucked it back into the tin box, placed it on the mantel, and went to bed. That night, he heard footsteps upstairs, heavy, slow, but no one was there. The next morning, the tin box was open. The letter, gone. He searched the whole house, every drawer, every room, even the attic. Nothing. But when he came back downstairs, the letter was back on the mantel, still sealed, like it had never been opened at all. And then, things got worse. The lights flickered. The clock stopped at 2:17 a.m., the same time, every night. Daniel started waking up with the feeling that someone was watching him. He found muddy footprints on the hallway floor, leading from the front door to the fireplace, the same fireplace where the tin box sat, and outside, neighbors began whispering again. About Eleanor, about how she used to talk to someone who wasn't there, about how she never left the house after nightfall. One old woman said it plainly. That house was quiet for 70 years, until you opened that letter. Daniel couldn't sleep. Not anymore. Something about the letter wouldn't leave him alone. So he went back to it, read it again and again, looking for something he missed. And that's when he saw it. In the margins, barely visible, was a second set of writing, pressed in with a dull pencil, almost like a note from someone else. It said, "She lied. I never left. I'm still here." Daniel's hands shook. He flipped the envelope over, and on the back, under the flap, scratched into the paper, a date. March 3rd, 1942. He checked the village records. On that date, Eleanor filed a report with the local constable. She claimed her brother, not her lover, not her friend, her brother Thomas, had left to join the war effort. But there was no enlistment record, no travel documents, no trace of him ever leaving town. And in the police ledger, next to her statement, someone had written, "She's lying. The fireplace smells like rot." Daniel returned to the cottage one last time. This time he checked behind the fireplace, pried open the old stonework. Inside the wall, buried behind the bricks, bones, wrapped in cloth, with a pendant around the neck, engraved with the initials, T.B., Thomas Blackwood. The letter wasn't written out of grief. It was written out of guilt. And now, whatever Eleanor had hidden for all those years wasn't hidden anymore. As Daniel stood there staring at the bones hidden behind the fireplace, something heavy settled in his chest. He wasn't sure if it was the weight of the truth, or the realization that he had just become part of it. He'd opened something that should have stayed locked away forever. Some stories, no matter how much we want to understand them, should never be told. They're not meant for us, not for the living, because once the past is uncovered, it's like opening a door that can never be closed. And sometimes the past wants to stay buried. Eleanor's letter, full of grief, full of guilt, was never meant to be found. And yet, now it's out in the world. And it's still working its way into other people's lives, pulling them into its web. So, ask yourself, what stories have we left behind in the dust? What memories are buried so deep that they might still be reaching out? And sometimes, perhaps it's better if we leave the letters unsent, if we let the ghosts stay where they belong, in the shadows. Pause. Would you open a letter that was never meant for your eyes, or would you let the secrets of the past stay locked away? And with that, you could close out the video with your call to action. If you enjoyed this eerie tale, subscribe for more untold stories, and don't forget to leave your thoughts in the comments. What would you do if you found a letter like this? Let us know below. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell for more. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. See you in the next one. Bye for now.